Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of the Butterfly Effect podcast. Me and Liam are here today ready to tell you the top 10 reasons why we think The Expanse deserves a shot. And we're going to crack on with number 1. Yes, TellTale is back. And of course, we can't ignore the contribution of Ad Hoc and Deck 9 as well. But it's a significant moment because we didn't think that TellTale would come back, of course, after the company collapsed in the past. But this is the studio behind, some of our favourite choice-based games, whether it's the Walking Dead series, The Wolf Among Us, Batman, Game of Thrones, etc. And of course, as well, it seems like that they've learned their lessons from the past as well. We know that The Expanse is going to be a fully finished game before they start to release the episodes. And then therefore that should make the scheduling a lot more frequent as well. And speaking as choice-based game enthusiasts, we do know that it's a little bit up in the air as to whether a supermassive release is coming this year. It certainly doesn't look like we're getting Star Wars Eclipse from Quantic Dream. And the same from Don't Nod as well. I don't think they're bringing out any choice-based related stuff soon. So TellTale could be our go-to guys, and it's just great to have them back on the scene.
Now, of course, this is set in the world of The Expanse, which obviously is related to Star Trek, but we know it's very different to Star Trek. Now, I think this IP is going to be great for, new fans as well as old ones as well. So if you don't know what The Expanse is, that's completely fine. What people do tell me that do watch the show is that it's completely different to the Star Trek franchise, and that it's a lot less Hollywoody and glamorous, but it's more about political science and the choices the characters make. But that's going to marry so well with the TellTale basis of a game and their blueprint. It just seems like we're just going to get great links and dialogue with all the characters. The choices are going to probably be really difficult. So yeah, it seems like The Expanse is a really smart decision for TellTale to have their IP. But this could be a really amazing game for die-hard Expanse fans as well. You're going to see all the characters that you know in the show, or at least Kamina Drummer's going to be in it, so you'll have her. But also there's going to be little lore drops, to keep those fans satisfied as well. It's great if you're like me and Jack, in the sense if you're one of the fans that is going to be completely in the dark, because we all saw what happened with The Wolf Among Us, for those who didn't know The Wolf Among Us beforehand, a bit like me and Jack as well. It's arguably the best TellTale franchise, up there with The Walking Dead. It's first or second for me. So yeah, it could be that this game's got the potential to, wipe us off our feet.
Yes, of course. So, we know that The Expanse is set in space as well, and may I say, it does look incredible. Like, some of the visuals that have gone into this look absolutely superb. It looks different from the usual, comic style thing that TellTale have going on. It really almost as if it was like Deck 9 and TellTale have somehow merged their graphics together, and it's like, this is the product of what The Expanse looks like. But even beyond the graphics, there's some fantastic gameplay elements that they've brought in here as well. They've really used the whole space setting as an excuse to create some fun elements. So we have the Zero G, which looks great. Imagine being able to float through space and interacting with objects and finding areas. We've got the mag boots, so you can walk up walls, walk around the ceiling. Again, it's something a bit different. And just the sheer cinematic quality, it really does look like that they've taken the time and effort to almost mimic what the TV series The Expanse has done, and they've been very conscious of that. And as well, if you're a supermassive games fan and you're a little bit keen on Directive 8020, which of course we know is a space-based game, and you're a little bit impatient, this might soften the blow because it's set in space, it's a choice-based game, there are lots of parallels there. So yeah, absolutely, why not get this game?
So the research we've done into this game has revealed that this game is going to provide side objectives and hidden areas, which will lend itself into collectibles. Now, we saw TellTale towards the end of their first day. You had the final Walking Dead season where you could collect different things to put in your room with AJ. So they started getting there, and they started getting a lot better and more expansive on the gameplay front, because we know how rigid TellTale used to be, where you were kind of boxed in like a room. It was all about dialogue, point and click. They really started to steer away from that, but now that they're back, it might be that, yeah, like it really goes all out on these side objectives and these collectibles that we can do. The hidden areas thing just seems so interesting because we have word to believe that it can unlock conversations with characters, and that it could help us with our relationship status with them, and they can see us more favorably in the long term. Now, it's just great that we have that level of detail that's put into a TellTale game, which I never thought we would have seen before. So that's just really exciting, and certainly a strong reason why you should probably give the Expanse a chance.
Also, we know as well that anyone but one character can die in this game, and of course those of you that are Expanse fans will know that this is drama because this game does serve as a prequel to the TV series, so we definitely know that she won't die, and of course that's the character we are playing as. But it just shows like a fantastic element of like how far TellTale have gone in terms of like their branching narratives. I think a common criticism of TellTale in the past is, you know, taking The Walking Dead for example. If you kill off Doug in episode 1 of The Walking Dead season 1, you know that Carly's going to ultimately die, or it can be vice versa. So the fact that there is this amount of branching for certain characters to live or die is superb, and it also lends to replayability value, you know. So we can play this game more than once, and it should therefore give a more satisfying experience to the player. I think as well, when you talk about the choices, they're really drumming home the fact that it's actually potentially like very grey choices in there. So it's not necessarily going to be very easy as to what path you meant to take in a certain situation. You're going to be pondering for a little while, which again just adds value to the game, and it's going to create interesting discussions in between each episode as to why we did what we did.
Number 6 is the release schedule. So if you don't know already, the Expanse will be releasing an episode every 2 weeks. Now this is really exciting. One of the criticisms we had, which we actually spoke about in another video, which I'll link on screen now, and that'll be in the description for you guys, is we were hoping they would release the games a lot faster, or each episode at least. With a traditional TellTale game, if we take a game like the Walking Dead game, it would come out maybe every 2 months, so it would take you about 10 months to get through a 5, episode series. Now, we would comment on how that was potentially too long, how your enthusiasm could wane, you might forget about what happened in the previous episode, but we're going to be getting a level or episode every 2 weeks. Now that's fantastic, because rather than 10 months, we're going to be able to complete, this whole thing in 2.5 months. So the Expanse should be finishing in late September. Now that just seems like a more bite-sized, digestible sort of game to like sink our teeth into. So yeah, if you're more of the impatient type who really couldn't, wait for like the TellTale games to release as often as they did, this is so much more bite-sized and so much more appealing to that gamer.
So there is an incentive for those to pre-order the game. Of course, it's not too far away now, only a few days now, guys. But there is an incentive for you to pre-order. That being that you do get 24-hour early access to. We think it's all of the episodes. It might just be episode 1. We're not quite sure on the wording on that front. But there is also the fact of DLC. So we know that this is probably likely to be an extra episode. If you think about The Walking Dead Season 1, you've got the 400 days. And of course, another example is the tie-in with Deck 9 Games. We know from the Life is Strange Before the Storm, if you pre-ordered that and ordered the deluxe edition, we know that you'd get a bonus farewell episode from that as well. So there is strong evidence that there's going to be an extra episode, so you're potentially paying not much more money for an extra sort of episode, which brings it to 6 episodes. So it's a really good incentive from TellTale.
So yeah, Jack and I are really excited about the future potential that TellTale might get from bagging this Expanse series, and also the fact they're doing Wolf Among Us 2. We've seen it before when they bagged The Walking Dead. That was such a heavy IP that it kind of made them able to, have things such as Minecraft, Batman, Tales from Borderlands. So there's a lot of stuff there. So if they, have the Expanse, they're doing Wolf Among Us 2, and if it's strong and they keep going, what IPs are we going to see in the future? Could they bring Stranger Things back and complete that project that they nearly did that had to get axed? Maybe we'll get Game of Thrones again, and we'll get the prequel of House of Dragon, which is red hot at the minute. Maybe we'll even get something wild such as Squid Game. The possibilities are endless, and we're just so excited to see how Telltale are going to grow throughout the years from this kickstart again.
So accessibility has become a thing that actually we've seen with other developers as well. We're talking about sort of supermassive games, for example, where you get settings where you can alter the QTEs, and it seems as though that the Telltale are doing the exact same thing here with Expanse. And I think that's really good, because whether you're a veteran gamer or whether you're a newbie gamer to this genre, you can tailor the experience to make it sort of preferable to what your abilities are as far as QTEs go, which again it's far more inclusive way of bringing people into this sort of new Telltale, this new world that they're introducing to the player.
And number 10, bit of a plug, but we had to mention it, is that Jack and I will be covering The Expanse. So every time an episode is out, which I believe is going to be one every 2 Wednesdays, I'll be streaming The Expanse, so you can come along with me. You can help me choose my options, and we can look at the game together and discover it blind together. It's going to be super fun, guys. But also, not only that, but every Sunday, or not every Sunday, one every 2 Sundays, Jack and I will be doing an analysis series on The Expanse, where we're going to compare our choices, talk about which characters we like, which ones we despise. And we're just going to really get our teeth sunk into the episode and what it brings. So yeah, if you want some more heavy-hitting analysis as you play before you wait for the next episodes, come along with the ride and hear our discussions. It's going to be super fun, and I just can't wait to see what this game brings.
Fantastic. So let us know, guys, in the comments, have you pre-ordered The Expanse? Are you excited for The Expanse? Are you happy that Telltale are back? So yeah, do let us know all of that in the comments. Is there anything you wanted to add, mate?
I just wanted to say we'll see you in the future. Oh shit, wrong space game title, mate. Sorry about that.
We'll see you in the future. Take care, guys.
Bye for now.